Welcome to the Powerlifting and Power Ballads podcast, where we bring you a weekly dose of powerlifting news, tips, and training advice with a touch of 80s rock ballads. This podcast is presented by Team Roar Powerlifting, your source of the most comprehensive coaching and meet day preparation. Here are your hosts, Josh Rohr and Lara Sturm.
Welcome to episode 197. How are you, Josh?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. What's up?
Well, we went to military, police, and firefighter nationals this weekend. It was pretty good, pretty fun meet. A lot of strong individuals, and we handled a couple lifters there. None of our lifters were competing, but Renee Solly from the strength guys, Arian Kamisi is her coach, but we handled her. Brittany Goodnight, she's one of Uncle Jeremy's lifters, and Zachary Berry was one of Uncle Jeremy's lifters. They all did really well. Renee, she went 9 for 9. She broke the military American record squat, deadlift, and total. And then she also qualified for nationals with her second deadlift. So she had a really good meet. Brittany Goodnight, she went 8 for 9. She had a PR squat, PR bench, and PR total. Her third deadlift was strong, and it would have been a PR deadlift, but she just had a little bit of a hitch there. So if she cleans that up a little bit, that'll definitely, like I said, strength wasn't the issue. It was just a little tiny hitch. And then Zachary Berry went 9 for 9 and hit PRs on all of his lifts. So they all three had a really good meet. Their coaches did a really good job getting them ready. So
nice.
So it was pretty easy on our part. We just chalked shoulders and put baby powder on legs, and that was about it.
Yeah, help with warm-ups.
Yeah.
I mean,
of course.
there's things, the skill.
There's things, yeah.
All right, so shout out to Hartman Performance, I guess, and the strength guys.
Yep. And then Gwen Cook and April Gadsby were there to help too, so they were assisting. So we had a good crew there. Everybody did well and kind of kept everybody on task. So it was good.
Nice. And was it all raw lifting?
There was equip too. I think so. Wade was there, or Wave as I should call him. Did I ever tell you that story?
No.
Oh, so Wade stayed at our house for the Georgia State meet, and Emma can't say Wade, so she says Wave.
Oh, nice.
So we call him Uncle Wave. But yeah, he had an equip lifter there, so he was down coaching them.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. But some of the top performances, the female best lifters, Whitney Weidenborner had a 468 dots, and then Renee Solly had a 448. They gave awards for the top two best lifters on both sides. And then the men's best lifter was Joseph Kozgi with a 496, and then Kyle Morris was second with a 495. So that was a really close battle for best overall lifter. But they both did get a best lifter award. And then probably the craziest thing I saw at that meet, there's a guy doing bench only, Jonathan Myshak. The dude, he's big, but he's not like somebody you would expect to be benching over 5. But he benched 507 raw, and it was literally a close grip, like where the knurling and the smooth come together. His hands were against the smooth. It was literally that close. It was the most
really close.
Crazy
I don't
thing.
think I go that close.
No, you don't. You go with the max grip typically in the shirt, but like when we do our close grip work, we usually have like half of our thumb on the smooth, not even our hands against the smooth. He was literally hands against the smooth, like inside the width of his shoulders, and it was crazy, and it was strong. Like I don't know, that dude. His arms were massive though. His arms were as big as my head.
Wow, like I want to go see this video now because I'm like, I want to see how. Like what? Do you know what weight class he was?
Yes, he
507.
was.
Gosh.
He weighed in at 107.7, which is 110 is a 242 weight class. So he weighed probably like 230, high 230s. So like big, but not like 500-pound bencher big.
Right. Wow.
I might have just offended him right there by saying that. His arms were bigger than my head though, so that's the redeeming statement.
Right. There you go.
Yeah.
Wow. That's cool.
Yeah, but it was cool. Yeah, Dave Goodwin put on a good meet. A couple people that were there that we haven't seen in a while. It was kind of cool. Jeff Robeson showed up and was doing some announcing, so it was really cool to see him. And Sherman was there just kind of checking it out too, just kind of hanging around
Mm,
talking to people. And then Amy Pancake, one of our lifters, was doing the scoring, and then Kathy Mealy, she was doing the scoring on the other table. So it
nice.
was cool to see them. There was obviously a lot more people there. Like Blue Mountain College, they did the spotting and loading and did a super awesome job. Really, really good job there. So it was pretty cool. It was a fun event.
Nice. Yeah, and Dave always puts on a good meet.
Yeah,
Always does. He's always into that military nationals and giving back to the sport that way. So super solid.
super solid.
Super. So high school nationals is this weekend?
Yeah, it starts on the 20, or I'm sorry, it starts on the 20th. So it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's a big meet.
Okay.
Quentin Meyer's running it up in Wisconsin.
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 So
Yeah,
you can
there
get some
are eight.
cheese
You get
and
some cheese and powerlifting.
lift.
That's
Goes
basically
together.
what, yeah, that's
Like
that's what Wisconsin offers.
it's like peanut butter and jelly.
Yep,
Cheese and powerlifting.
cheese and
Good
powerlifting.
cheese though. Not we're not talking shitty cheese. Good
Yeah,
cheese.
I don't know. I don't know the difference usually. Like people always say, like even like bourbon, wine, coffee. Like I don't typically know the difference of any of that stuff. I can't tell. So
So you could eat at Waffle House every day and you'd be fine.
probably. I mean, in theory, I mean, at least from the taste standpoint, I don't notice too much difference. But like, yeah. So like, I always bring to the training weekend. I always bring that giant thing of Folgers, and nobody ever opens it because they're like, that is like crappy coffee. But like, that's what I drink every morning now because I have this giant thing of Folgers.
And green beans. A giant thing of canned green beans.
Well, green beans
Oh,
are always good. Do you ever play pickleball?
never have.
I went to a pickleball lesson. I literally just got back from it. So I am learning how to play pickleball.
Pickleball's gotten really huge in the last few years, like crazy huge.
Yeah. It's a blast, but like these 70-year-old
Really.
ladies were like schooling me today. It's
Nice. It's like tennis, but uh different, right?
it's like a mix of like tennis and ping pong, I think
Huh.
is kind of a good way to say it. I don't know.
Like the ball's lighter and the court is defined,
Smaller.
right?
Yeah, it's smaller.
Yeah. That's all
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. That's basically all I know too. But we're
Okay.
but I'm learning. I learned how to keep score,
Nice.
I think mostly.
Nice.
And then we were just like hitting practice back and forth, and I literally have zero. Like I was hitting like a couple balls, and the guy's like, "Wow, that was really good." I'm like, I wasn't trying to hit it there.
It was
It was
just
just
dumb luck.
yeah, and
You
and
know.
then the next one I would hit like way out of bounds, and he'd be like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I told you, I don't know. I'm trying."
Nice. Hey, I love the idea of just trying new sports though and having fun. You know,
Yeah, I had a
that
blast.
that's awesome. We used to
Yeah,
play uh what's it? It's not racquetball. It's with a volleyball. Volleyball? What what's the name of that sport? It's in a racquetball court, but it's volleyball.
handball.
Volleyball? They played
Oh,
off
it's
you play off the walls.
with the paddle.
No, with your
No, you said
hands.
it's with. Oh,
I
I
want to
don't
say it was
know.
called volleyball, but it was super fun. Except we'd always get hurt. So it's just one of those things I can't do.
10 years ago, I pulled my hamstring playing kickball with Matt Buttermer and Hope. Like, now what am I gonna do? Like, hurt myself playing pickleball against, these ladies in their 80s. Some of them were in their 80s, and they were just like making me look stupid.
Oh, please get video next time
Well, I'm training, and I will have my vengeance.
on those 80-year-old women.
Yeah,
Nice. All right, we're gonna move on to
they're
back to
not they're they're
powerlifting.
they're not gonna make me look stupid.
No, you do that plenty well on your
I
own.
got that covered.
Nice. All right. Powerlifting situation.
All right.
You get you get three white lights on your squat, but immediately after the attempt. You get three white lights on your squat, but immediately after the attempt, the meter. My God.
Hey, don't look stupid here.
Okay, I'm gonna try this again. You get three white lights on your squat, but immediately after the attempt, the meet director tells you Wah, wah, wah. The bar was misloaded. Sorry, it was 5K lighter than it should have been. What are your options?
So you have multiple options. You'll be given the option to just keep the weight, and that'll be your attempt. Or you'll be given the option to forfeit the weight you just did and take the attempt over at the correct weight. So the gamble here is like you have a 3 white light lift, and if you take that off the board, you know, you potentially could end up missing. So there's some factors that go in here, like, this is a intentionally left vague. We don't know if it was an opening squat. We don't know if it was a third attempt squat. We don't know if it's a local meet, a national meet. We don't know any of those things. So, I mean, some of the things to consider, like if it is your opener, you know, I say for the most part you keep it because, you go up and risk missing. You don't, missing your opener is never a good sign. Um, but on the flip side, if it was just ridiculously easy, then, you probably want to been able to, in order to take the correct jumps that you planned, you might want to go ahead and retake it. So, I mean, there's not really a right and wrong on this one. Um, yeah, I think experience level is one aspect too. Also let's just say here's a scenario where I probably would not retake it. I would keep it is, let's say that your opening squat was 300 kilos and you're planning to go to like 315 on your second. Does it really make sense to do two squats within 5 kilos at the percentage difference is so small? You could easily go from 295 to 315 without it really being much different than going from 300 to 315. If your opening squat was 30 kilos and you took 25, and that's a huge percentage difference. So like strategy wise, that might be worth taking the correct weight, but that's also that 25 kilos better have looked really, really easy because that's a big percentage increase that you're going to by jumping to 30. So,
Right.
there's risk on both ends. Like, so it just depends on the lifter. It depends on the experience level. It depends on, what the overall goal is to finish up with and honestly how that one moved. And the fact you got to consider is like now you're taking four squats instead of three. That also adds to the cumulative fatigue of the day. So yeah, a lot of things to weigh there.
Yeah, so it just kind of
I
depends.
don't know without more information.
Good to be big.
Yeah. Yep. That's what I do.
Good job. All right, so the new lifter tip, master the basics. Focus on proper form before adding heavy weight. Good technique prevents injuries and sets you up for long-term success.
I think this is, oh, go ahead. You were saying
I was
something.
just going to say, absolutely. Yeah. You never want to keep adding heavy weight to a bad form because it just kind of cements those movement patterns.
Yeah, exactly. It cements the movement patterns and it's basically just further making you rely on that technique that you're already using. And if that technique is just mechanically inefficient from a leverage standpoint, like you're really shooting yourself in the foot long term because now that's like your default and changing technique is not going to be feel as good to you because you're going to be weaker in that new range of motion. So it's better to kind of get the most mechanical advantageous positions and leverages you can early on, and then build from that. That way, as you build strength, it's transferring directly into already efficient technique. And that's not even mentioning the injury part. Like obviously, with technique being inefficient, knees buckling in when you squat, things like that, that creates excessive wear and tear that can, down the road cause some issues. So,
Yep. So,
yes.
yep. And then you get old and those things catch up with you. So,
Yeah.
can you relate, Josh?
Damn it. Yes. You said you were
Yeah.
going to come up with something random this week,
All
did you?
right. Here's the random thing. This is like all the wisdom I get is from Instagram. I just saw something on Instagram was talking about like on whales, how they know where they're going, that there's these bumps on their bellies that have these special cells in them that have magnetic properties, I guess. So those cells align themselves to like north So they have like a built-in compass so they know how to navigate. And I was like, what kind of science fiction bullshit is this? Is this even real? So of course I had to look it up. Like, is this real? Is that a real thing? And it is a real thing, but it's not proven in whales. So
So what's it proven in?
it's proven in like kelp and um, like salt marshes and estuaries and like small amoebas and that type of thing. Like, so it is a thing and they're studying it, but it's not proven to be in whales. So I was like, that's cool. It's
So if you bring a magnet to one of those places, like by the amoeba, will you just like catch them
attract
all on the
amoebas.
magnet?
I don't think so. I don't think it's gonna work that way.
Yeah, I don't know. That's
So
crazy. I've never heard that before, but
I know
that's crazy
it was
interesting.
super interesting, and they're trying to figure out if those types of cells do transfer into whales and other wildlife. Because I mean, it is kind of like, how do they know where to go? And like, I have barn swallows, and every year they come back. Like how they they migrate and they come back every year. It's just, I don't know if it's the same ones. I've never put a little tag on them, but like, how do they know? That's
I
some
mean,
crazy shit.
how do your bees know how to get back to their, I
Bees
mean,
are crazy. That shit's crazy. Did you know that bees do interpretive dance to tell each other? And this is a real thing.
hold on, I
Bees
want to hear more about this.
bees do interpretive dance to tell each other where a great food source is. So they come in from, foraging and such, and they come in and they do what's called a waggle dance. And based on how vigorously they waggle and how big the figure eight is that they make, or if they're just making kind of quick circles, it tells them the latitude and longitude in alignment to the sun.
What?
Seriously, they've proven this. So the bees tell the other bees based on the current alignment of the sun, like where to go and how far that source is. And they come back and they do this like vigorous dance. And like if they're really, really working it, that's telling them, yo, girls, it's down over here. Go.
Like
And that's awesome.
what's the dance look like?
Um, they waggle, they like kind of gyrate and they go in like little figure eights or they just kind of go in circles. But based on the orientation of the frame, like the frame goes up and down in the box. So based on the orientation of their dance, that tells them where it is in relation to the sun. Some crazy shit.
Like,
Interpretive dance.
give me an example. Like, I don't, that doesn't make sense.
I'd have to find a video and show it to you because
I was trying to get you to do it.
oh, no, 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 I can go on forever about random facts about bees that are just like, whoa, that's crazy.
Interpretive dance. So that
Interpretive
should be,
dance.
we need to work that into somehow, some sort of tiebreaker for our podcast here of some
Yes,
sort. Like, as a bee, do an interpretive
yes,
dance as a bee, explaining where the food source is.
yes. A really
And it has
good
to be
food source is.
so can you look at an interpretive dance and interpret what it actually means, like the latitude, longitude? Like, is there a way to like decode what that is so we could judge people based on their accuracy of their interpretive dance as a bee?
There are people that have like whole master's degrees and doctorate degrees on just interpretive dance of bees. Isn't that crazy? Um, but nowadays they use machine learning to figure it
This
out.
is the this is the most random thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
I love
Oh,
it.
I have so much more randomness when it comes to bees.
Okay, well,
We'll
okay,
save that.
our new segment is just going to be random bee facts with Laura.
Yes. There you go.
Because this is super. I'm so into this right now. This is
It's
so
crazy.
awesome.
There's some crazy shit they do. They are just superior. That's all I
Yeah,
have to say. Yeah.
that wasn't even your random fact. That was just
It
something we
wasn't.
stumbled on. Jeez.
Yeah, right. There you go. She won that.
Magnets in whales and interpretive dancing bees.
Yep.
All right,
Look it up. It's called a waggle dance.
waggle dance. I'm going to learn how to do the waggle dance.
Good luck.
Waggle, waggle, waggle.
It's like that, but different.
Waggle, baby, waggle, baby, waggle, baby, waggle.
You could seriously work up an entire comedy routine on these and the random funny shit that they do. I'm gonna have to work on that.
Nice. Maybe I will.
All right. Till next week, Josh Rohr.
All right. Sounds good. Good talk.
Always. Bye now.
Later.
Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed today's episode of the Powerlifting and Power Ballads podcast, please remember to subscribe and share it with your friends.